How's it going, folks? In this episode of the solo farm series we are looking at the Glint challenge farm, aka Destroyer farm. I could start this vid by saying do this and do that, but let me say a few words in general instead. So back in the days I wasn't really satisfied with this Dcore farm for multiple reasons. I disliked this thing because it had a long waiting phase, 3 minutes or something, and how on earth can you wait for 3 minutes standing still with your char? You know, this felt boring as hell to me. Also, you couldn't really get much outside of the Destroyer cores, and those only dropped like once or twice each run. But I guess the main reason I always avoided this place was the Destroyer cores value, and now as I'm making this video in 2022, things have changed and for the better. Take a look. According to Commandant Raid Chat, a full stack is worth somewhere between 117 and 200 ectos. Now this is kind of decent if you consider that each run takes roughly 5 minutes, and on average you get a bit over 1.5 Destroyer cores each run. So in other words, you can farm around 1 ecto each run, and I think this is awesome. So probably you have heard of this farm, usually people do it in hard mode, but I think we should wait a bit and check both normal and hard mode first. You know, I love collecting data and filling spreadsheets, and this time I have done 25 runs in normal mode and 25 runs in hard mode, and this is what I've got. 1.74 Dcores in normal mode and only 0.56 Dcores in hard mode. You may get more unid golds and tombs from hard mode, but since the majority of the profit comes from the Destroyer cores, you must do this farm in normal mode, as simple as that. Alright, this was the boring part, now comes the fun part with builds and how-tos. Without doubt, the most reliable and fastest character here is the ranger with the good old whirling defense build. And generally speaking, a shield with plus 10 armor versus piercing damage helps, a 20% enchanted one-handed weapon is a must-have, and some insignias which increase armor like the blasting insignias. This is the ranger setup, but you will see this is a very general thing, and most of the builds and also the gear can be applied to the other professions as well. The farm starts from central transfer chamber by talking to consular brand Oaken Cask, and during this challenge you have to defend the baby dragon at all costs. But this can be done very easily by going to this spot between the two dwarven scouts, a bit closer to the guy on the right side. I made my compass bigger on purpose so you can see how each group gets aggroed on both sides. To me this helped at the beginning, but this is only optional. And like I mentioned earlier, there is a long waiting phase in this farm. I would say in normal mode it's like 5 or 10 seconds longer because the NPCs don't die so fast. But around the 1 minute or 1 minute 10 seconds mark you should start using your skills. Start with Deadly Paradox, then Shadow of Distress, Great Dwarf Armor, Storm Chaser, Way of Perfection and Mental Block. The energy fills quickly because some of the destroyers deal elemental damage, so it will be not a problem at all. Just make sure to use all your assassin enchantments as often as possible. This will reduce the damage you take even more because there is a shadow form bug. Also make sure to stand still, don't move, and maintain the shadow form chain all the time. Deadly Paradox, Shadow Form and all the other enchantments, and repeat. Then use Storm Chaser again after each shadow form to refill your energy bar. So we must do this till around the 3 minute mark, then look around, and if no more mobs are coming, start going up the hill in front of you, but do it backwards. If you don't do it backwards, some of the destroyers might lose aggro, and they will kill the baby dragon immediately. Be patient and do the same like I do. Go nice and slowly up the hill and keep a bit left. Don't forget your enchantments either, and when both groups reach the beginning of the slope, ball them up like I do on the left side. There's a white thing on the map, this helps to know where you have to go. I think this is similar to when you have to back up a car in the parking lot or something like this. Slow down a bit and see how the destroyers ball up. Whirling defense has some range, so you don't need a perfect ball, just a decent one. Okay, all fools are in the pack, get close to them, position yourself so you can reach most of them and spike with whirling defense. Now pick up the drops and map travel back. Sadly /resign doesn't work here, but at least we get the drops if we die, so don't worry even if you get killed by the vengeful weapon in the meantime, or if the baby dragon dies, you always get your drops. Now let's see how hard mode works. Basically it's the same build, but you need way stronger armor. In normal mode you can do this farm even without proper gear, no shield, even get rid of 1 or 2 enchantments. But hard mode is a different beast. I will not show the same bowling and waiting phase again, rather tell you the differences. In hard mode, the destroyers arrive a few seconds faster, because they kill the dwarves faster. They deal more damage, even with all the blocks and armor boosts, there is a tiny chance to die. This is just bad luck usually, it happened to me like once or twice from 25 runs, and the build is very reliable though. So just do the same as before, tank till around 3 minutes, carefully move the mobs to their spot, and spike with whirling defense. Easy peasy, they will die immediately, and if your graphic card is an old one, you may experience some lag or some slowdown. Alright, this was the meta here. The next clip I will show you now are all in normal mode. Assa and Ellie can do this farm in hard mode as well, but like I said, I don't see a reason to do this farm in hard mode, so guys, let's focus on normal mode instead. Assassins have the exact same build as the Rangers, the only difference is that they don't have expertise, ergo their whirling defense is much weaker. To solve this, I figured why not use a Ranger hero who has Winnowing and even Edge of Extinction. Winnowing is a great backup for whirling defense because it increases the damage by 4 points, but if you bring the spirit yourself and if you place it somewhere, the destroyers, according to their name, will destroy it. So here is the trick I made. Disable the hero skills by holding shift and clicking on them, then flag the hero so close that when you micro the spirit, the effects will reach you, but the mobs will not find it. This spot in front of the baby dragon is great, and let the hero camp there, do the same things again. And when you are close to the spiking phase, micro the 2 spirits and flag the hero to the very first green dot on the minimap. This is crucial to have all the drops, and when you see the hero's name turn or fade in the party window, you know he is far enough to start the spike. And that's it, instead of 5 damage, now whirling does 9 damage, and in case any of the mobs would survive, Edge of Extinction does the dirty job. Now this clip just to show you that it can be done in hard mode as well on Assassin, and let's move on. Elementalist is the next one. Obsidian Flash, Stone Flash Aura, Armor of Earth to survive, the Warren Stability and Storm Chaser for energy management, Glyph of Swiftness to reduce the recharge time of Obi Flash, and whirling defense again. Same thing, same results, also a hard mode run just to show you guys Alice can farm it in hard mode as well. So these 3, Ranger, Assa and Ellie, are the fastest of all. They do the farm in around 5 minutes. The rest of the charts aren't bad either, they can complete the run in around 5 minutes and 40 seconds, including rezones, so they are not that slow, but they need more hero help. I wanted to make a very general build for normal mode, and this is what I have figured out. So how does it work? You need to know that the mobs here have hex removal skills, the Ritus have Vengeful Weapon, so you either spike them immediately, for example with whirling defense, or you choose the other way around and focus on massive HP degen without any direct damage or hexes. The bad news is that the destroyers have a self-heal called Inner Fire, and they use it all the time. It lasts for only 10 seconds with a 20-sec recharge time, so there is a way to kill the destroyers even if all of them use their healing skills. Luckily in normal mode the destroyer of hordes, the rangers, are only level 10 and have very little HP, around 200 or 250, and if you can kill just one of them, Edge of Extinction will take care of the rest. So this is how the general build works. Make your hero use Balthazar Spirit on your char, just like how we did before, then maintain Shadow Form and all the other enchantments. And when the time has come, usually when the bowling process is almost done, micro your hero but don't stand him away yet. Get close to the destroyers and use Radiation Field and Viper's Defense. The Spirit of Toxicity will trigger, the Poison and Disease will do another -2 degen, so I think this is -10 HP degen continuously when the conditions are active. Now you should send the hero away, this will obviously remove your energy management, so try to recast as many enchantments before sending him away, as many as you can. Obviously the mobs will use their healing skills, but since it only lasts for 10 seconds, and the ranger's HP is little. With the constant HP degen and with the well-timed finish him, you can kill just one of the rangers pretty soon, which triggers Edge of Extinction, and it results in the destroyer's death. Sometimes it takes a few seconds, but it always works. Obviously this build doesn't work in hard mode since the force level and HP are way higher in hard mode, but it doesn't matter since normal mode is better for the Dcores. Anyway, this build works for all 10 professions, however monks and mesmers have a bit different builds, they don't need as much hero help as the others. And guys, this was the Glint challenge, hope you like this new approach. Don't forget to rate the video, maybe subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video.